right, everyone, welcome back to Full Circle with Joyce. We are getting down to the wire here. This is the last few moments of our show this morning. But before we call it a day, we want to talk about the Tule Vyema initiative. And it's a community-based organization that raises awareness of proper feeding practices in communities so as to eliminate malnutrition incidences. And Maureen here, the founder, has represented Kenya in several international fora, such as Global Citizen, Global Changemakers, and Young African Leaders YALI. Her desire is to become a leading policy maker in matters nutrition and food security, and it's a pleasure to have her here on Full Circle with Joyce. Karibu sana to the show, Maureen Muketha.
Thank you, Joyce.
All right, so tell me a bit about what drove you to start your organization.
I grew up in one of the areas that has the leading cases of malnutrition.
Where's that?
And seeing women and children hardest hit.
Where's that?
Where is that? This is in Tharaka.
Okay.
Yeah. So seeing women and children hardest hit, this led me into studying nutrition for my bachelor's. And while studying nutrition is when I thought of an idea of forming Tule Vyema.
Okay. And so what exactly... Tule Vyema is mostly just the education bit. So you're using your degree from nutrition to now educate these communities about good eating practices, good farming practices, nutrition in general.
Yes, we teach them how to observe proper feeding practices, and also since we work with women, we also help them set up sacks where they cultivate indigenous vegetables.
Okay, well done, well done. And so apart from the education program, you have also built in some sustainability aspects into this. For example, helping the farmers plant the right crops. Maybe you can tell us about that. I understand you also give them seeds.
Yes. So what we do is we usually have nutrition education health talks where we teach them proper feeding practices, and now to make it more practical, we help them set up the sacks where they plant indigenous vegetables. And why they plant indigenous vegetables?
When they're doing it in sacks?
Yes, in sacks.
Which is nice, because then it's not about whether you have land or not. Right, good.
Actually, why we decided on sacks is because there's a problem of land availability. Yeah. So we help them set up the sacks, and we give them seedlings of 4 indigenous vegetables. Why the indigenous vegetables is because they are rich in iron, which is a nutrient of concern among the young women who have reproductive age. And they are also fairly expensive compared to the exotic vegetables.
Oh, interesting.
So
if indigenous vegetables are more expensive?
Yes, indigenous vegetables, the terere, managu. Why? Because they're not so much in supply. They're not readily available.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So they cultivate those 4 varieties of the indigenous vegetables for their consumption first, and they sell the surplus to meet other household needs.
Well done, well done. And so tell us now, you are running an organization. There's manpower behind you as well. How big have you been able to grow this?
We mainly work with volunteers, and I'd say at any given time we have a minimum of 10 volunteers.
Good.
Whenever we have an activity, that is if we have deworming drives, even when we are setting up the sacks, we call out for volunteers so that they're also able to see how the technique that we use to set up the sacks, so that they're also able to go and apply it in their various places.
Okay. Do you know how many people you've been able to train so far? How many communities have you worked in?
Yes, we have trained 60 women. We've trained 60 women. We've set up sacks for 60 women, and we've also educated 60 women. And right now we are also doing another phase where we are working with 15 women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well done to you. Well done to you. And talk to us again about some of the areas that you say were quite prone to these to poor nutrition and what you were talking about. So you've mentioned Tharaka already. What are some of the other areas?
We have Kitui. Also Kajiado is fairly dry. Those are some of the areas. So
mostly the semi-arid.
The semi-arid areas.
Okay.
And actually an interesting or a sad fact is that the raka, they grow very nutritious cereals, the millet, the sorghum, yet there's a very high rate of malnutrition.
Wow.
So
how do you explain that?
They don't appreciate or they don't know the importance of the cereals that they grow.
So they're looking for things outside.
Yeah, so they want to grow maize, which will not do very well because of rain, instead of planting the millet and the sorghum. Yeah.
It's very interesting that, you know, as you're saying, sometimes we keep wanting to look outside of us. We always think the grass is literally greener on the other side, when really, as you're saying, what we have is often what is the best and sufficient. And I think that applies to a lot of things in life. But, you know, is this now sort of a full-time thing for you? Are you splitting your time with anything else? Are you still hoping to study this at an even deeper level?
Yes, I'm doing this. I'm splitting my time. This is what I love to do, and Tule Vyema is what I do in my part-time, but I would love to do it full-time.
Okay.
Currently, I am doing my internship.
Okay.
At Mbagathi Hospital.
Well done.
Where at the end of the year, I'll be licensed now as a nutritionist.
Good for you. Congratulations. Now, you have been part of some international events, very big international events, representing Kenya, no less, at Global Citizen, Global Changemakers, and of course you're part of Young African Leaders. How was that experience for you? I'm thinking of Global Citizen and the Global Changemakers. You know, what did that mean to you, even to be recognized or to be part of representing Kenya at that sort of level?
Very mind-blowing. I first started off with Yali, and it was while I was doing Yali where I got the idea of, since I am the change I want to be, what am I doing with my nutrition knowledge? Especially right now that there's an increasing rate of non-communicable diseases, the hypertension, diabetes, which also the vegetables, because they're high in fiber and low in fat, help combat or help prevent someone from developing these non-communicable diseases. So during Yali is where I got the idea, and then I wasn't so sure about it, so I started doing it small scale. I just started with my friends, and then while still doing it, I got an opportunity to attend the Global Changemakers. And now at Global Changemakers is where
And that was where?
In Switzerland.
In Switzerland.
So now at Global Changemakers is where everything exploded, and because that's where I was able to get funding to be able to implement my first phase.
Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, so I attribute my success, and also Global Citizen. Global Citizen, we were trained how to advocacy, how to talk about your projects and get people more involved in it. So I'd say it's been a systematic journey. Yes.
What I really like about your story, though, is that, I mean, you've not even, you know, formally finished your accreditation and your schooling basically for becoming a nutritionist. You are in the middle of your internship right now, on your way to be certified, but here you are, you've started an organization that has already gotten funding and international recognition. Like, salute to you, madam. Very well done. And, you know, just talking to the rest of us, the audience who is watching, clearly you did not wait. You didn't wait to say, I'm not even accredited, or I don't even have, you know, a big name, or I'm not even in the big city. You know, all the many different excuses that we give ourselves. You know, how did you just sort of decide that you're just going to, actually, let me rephrase that and say, what counsel, what advice would you give to those who are watching as far as just starting, just get in there and do something? Because it sounds from your story that when you start, all of these other things then are attracted to you and they flow to you.
Just start. As long as you have an idea of what you want to do, you don't need to know everything. You don't need to see the end of the journey. Even me right now, I don't know. I have a vision of where I want to be, but I am not sure. I I can't see a very clear path.
Yeah.
So start with, just know what area you want to address. And right now it's very easy because we have the Sustainable Development Goals.
Yeah.
There are 17 of them. So to Leviama, we address goal 2, zero hunger. So if, for example, you look at the 17 goals and then see what are you passionate about what annoys you the most. And if you're passionate about it and it annoys you, go for it.
Yeah. I love how you said, even I don't know the full picture, even I can't see the end. Yet in that process of not knowing, you've impacted at least 60 women and changed their lives. And of course, we know when you impact a woman's life, particularly in a rural area, she impacts the rest of, her family. And so there's this huge domino or ripple effect over it. So very well done to you. Now, tell us about, so you're not, I can't ask you about future plans for Tule Vyema just yet, I suppose, because you're still trying to figure it out. But maybe you can let us know how people can partner with you or support your work.
You can partner with me through following us on Facebook or Instagram. We usually post our activities, and whenever we have events, we post them there. The other way you could partner with us is, especially now, like the county government of Kajiado, since malnutrition, both undernutrition and overnutrition, is a problem in the county. I would love to get to work with them. Yeah.
County Government of Kajiado, I hope you're watching. This young lady here, Maureen Muketha, is reaching out to you to work with her.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd love to work with them then.
And eliminate malnutrition, because if we are not healthy, if we don't have a healthy nutrition status, it hinders us.
Absolutely.
All of us. Yeah. So I believe that health is one thing. Health is wealth, and it's what will help you get to your job and be productive throughout the day.
All right, Maureen.
And especially right now, the non-communicable diseases, they're partly attributed to our feeding habits, and they're very preventable. Yet we are losing so many lives every day. And I am certain if we educate everybody, and if we educate, we'll be able to prevent, and we won't focus so much on the curative, but the preventive, which is even cheaper.
It's cheaper, much more efficient and effective. Maureen, thank you so much for joining me here on Full Circle with Joyce. All the best to you as you continue with your work. Be sure to follow Tule Vyema. County Government of Kajiado, we are calling out to you today. Please support and work this out with this young lady here. With that said, guys, my time is up. I do need to go and call it a day. Until tomorrow, we'll be back here to wrap up the week in style for Style and Culture Friday. Until then, have yourselves a blessed day. I'll see you soon. Ciao.